Victor Wembanyama is seriously not from this planet. I'm starting to believe that Victor might actually be an alien. He just had a 10 block performance last night against the Trailblazers. To go alongside that, he also had 30 points and 7 rebounds. I mean, those stats alone are ridiculous. He also shot 50% from 3. He was 4-8 and also 8-16 from the field. I mean, this guy is just ridiculous. He's 7'4", guys, 7'5", and the things that Wemby is doing are just unreal. I wouldn't be surprised if Wemby's the first player we've seen in a while to get a quadruple double with maybe, points, assists, rebounds, and blocks, because he's come very close in the past, and I would not be surprised if we see that very soon, because the thing about Wemby we got to remember, guys, is he is only 20 years old in year number 2 doing this type of stuff. I mean, this is his second 10 block performance in his entire career. And I want to take a look at some crazy stats here about Victor Wembanyama. We can see that Victor Wembanyama becomes the 6th player in NBA history to record 30 plus points and 10 blocks in a game, joining alongside guys like Hakeem Olajuwon, David Robinson, Artis Gilmore, Dwight Howard, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Now, the crazy thing to me about this is Wemby, as just a center shot blocking big, is up there with one. It seems like he's going to be up there with some of the greatest bigs of all time. But the thing that you got to remember about Wemby compared to guys like Hakeem, D-Rob, guys like Shaq or Kareem that are up here with these 10 block, or Shaq's not up here with the 10 block performances, but Shaq's obviously was a very dominant big. But the thing about Wemby that makes him an alien and makes him even more special than these guys, at least that's what it seems like he's going to be, is because of that 3-point shot. None of these guys could ever hit a consistent 3-ball. Dwight Howard, I think's made less than 4 in his entire career, and Wemby just made 4 in one game, and he's had eight 3-pointers in a game performances. So the thing about Wemby that separates him from the elite centers in the NBA of the past is the fact that he can also hit the 3-ball very efficiently while still getting these crazy block performances, still being one of the best paint defenders we've probably ever seen in the NBA. So that to me is just a crazy, crazy stat to see. Another crazy one is Victor Wembanyama now has more career blocks than over 91% of the entire NBA history. Now, I know that 8.9% or whatever it is still a lot of players, probably over 1,000. But the fact that this guy's not even played 2 seasons and already has more blocks than 91% of players in the entirety of the NBA, again, I just find that to be another crazy stat about Wemby. We can see in his last 12 games, I mean, just look at the performances he's been putting up. He had that 50-point performance where, like I said, he made 8 threes as a 7'4", 7'5" center, which I find to be ridiculous. He's had a couple bad performances, like that 15-point game. I mean, he still had 13 rebounds and 7 assists. I'm sure he had a couple blocks to go with that as well. He had a triple-double, like 34 points, 14 rebounds, 11 assists. I wouldn't be surprised in the future if he puts up that type of performance while also getting 10 blocks to get that quadruple-double. I would not be very surprised to see that. And even in the game before he had the 10 blocks, he did have a 42-point performance with 6 boards and 4 blocks. I mean, on the year, he's averaging 4 blocks a game, which is just unheard of and absolutely unreal. So in Wemby's last 12 games, he's really come to this superstar level of form. And I think Wemby has a real shot to be an all-star starter this year because of his name and how hyped up he is and just his fan base globally, but also his level of play is really starting to look like one of the best in the NBA. And I think we have to have real conversations of where does Wemby rank, in the NBA currently. And I think there's a legit argument and chance that he could be a top 10 player right now in the NBA. Another crazy stat for the Spurs is Victor Wembanyama already has a Spurs block record over Robinson and Duncan. I mean, we could take a look at the graphic here. David Robinson, he had 55 blocks, 61 blocks in a row. Wemby has 62 games consecutively with a block. That's what the stat is, right? If you guys can't see it, it's consecutive games with a block. Victor Wembanyama has 62 games in a row where he's recorded at least one block, passing David Robinson, who did it back in 1991 and 1992, where he did 61 games in a row. Again, another just ridiculous block stat for Wembanyama. Once again, you see Tim Duncan on here, you see David Robinson. Those guys could not shoot the 3-ball like Victor Wembanyama. So the fact that he's up here with the blocks, with these amazing dominant centers and power forwards, but he's also able to stretch the floor and knock down threes is something that I find super valuable and something that makes him just an alien and out of this world. because we can see now this stat, you kind of have to have some context with it because on paper it seems ridiculous, but threes made in their first 94 career games, Victor Wembanyama 200 threes, Steph Curry 187. That means Wemby got to 200 three-pointers faster than Steph Curry. Now, with the context, you got to remember Steph Curry's percentage was a lot better, and you also have to remember that Steph Curry for his first couple seasons was nowhere near as good as Wemby, and once Curry got to his prime years, I mean, he was making however many threes. He was setting three-point records like it was nothing, so I don't think Wemby is going to come close to ever passing Steph Curry's three-point record, but again, it's just another crazy stat to see that Wemby is also the fastest center in NBA history to get to 200 threes. And we're talking about a guy who's 7'4", 7'5". I mean, just the stuff that Wemby does on the basketball floor is super impressive and so fun to watch. He's become one of my more fun and favorite players to watch in the NBA. We take a look at his stats from the regular season. I wanted to go over those cool stats on Twitter that I saw about Wemby, but on the season, he's averaging 25 points, he's averaging 10 rebounds a game, so he's averaging a 25-point double-double, while also getting you 4 blocks a night, which obviously leads the NBA, and he gets you 4 assists a night. So this man is averaging 25, 10, 4, and 4, while also getting you a steal per night. Those stats, to me, are probably all-star starter worthy, and definitely all-NBA second team worthy as of right now, because he's also shooting 35% from 3, and he's taking over 9 threes per game and knocking them down at a very solid clip. If Wemby gets that ever up to like 37, 38%, which I think he probably will in his career, maybe even having a couple 40% seasons, shooting over 9 threes a game, I could realistically see Wemby in the next couple seasons start to average 28, 29, 30 points per game while getting you that 3.5, 4 blocks, still getting you over 10 rebounds a night, and maybe he bumps the assist up to like 4 or 5 per game, or maybe bumps it up to like 5 or 6 a game. Like, this man is just putting up unreal numbers, and he's made this Spurs team actually very competitive in the Western Conference compared to where they were last year and just weren't a great team. Now they're actually looking competitive. You know, Chris Paul definitely helped him out. I think he's really improved the game of Wemby, allowing him to get a lot more touches and be that focal point that I think he wasn't really last year, which he should have been. And it is just crazy to see how good Wemby's been in year number 2. He also had a very slow start to his second season, so the numbers he's putting up are with him having a very rough couple weeks and month into the season. But over this past month or two, he has been playing unreal basketball and looking like a legit top 10 player in the NBA. But let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think about Victor Wembanyama? Where do you guys think he ranks in the NBA currently? I think he's got a legit argument for a top 10. But hopefully you guys did enjoy the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.